Today we come together to remember through the living stations of the cross the trials and agony Jesus suffered for us his last day on earth. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. O Jesus, we are about to walk with you through the stages of your agony and death. We are about to spend a brief time renewing the sacrifice that gave us the life of a Christian, that upholds us by the graces you have won, and brings us along the road to a salvation that all took place and continues today by your sacrifice on the cross. Help us to understand a little better, to love a little more, and to give of ourselves more generously by our use of these 14 remembrances of your divine vocation. The first station, Jesus is condemned to death. The soldiers brought Jesus to the Roman governor to be judged. The people wanted Jesus to be punished, and even though the governor knew he was innocent, he gave in to the crowd. Jesus was condemned to death on the cross. Jesus didn't say anything. Sometimes people accuse us of things we haven't done. How do you feel at such a time? How do you think Jesus felt? What was in his heart? We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when the judge condemned my Lord? Were you there when the judge condemned my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the judge condemned my Lord?
The second station, Jesus takes up his cross. Next, the soldiers gave Jesus a heavy wooden cross to carry through the streets. Sometimes when we have big problems or even little troubles, people say we have a cross to carry. Do you know anyone right now who is carrying a cross? Perhaps it's you. Sometimes things do not go as you want them to go, but you can't run away and take the easy way out. To really get anything out of life, you have to work at it every day. Jesus gave us his example, even though it was hard and painful. He accepted all our sins and took up the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when he carried forth the beam? Were you there when he carried forth the beam? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he carried forth the beam?
The third station, Jesus falls the first time. As Jesus walked along the streets with his cross, many people gathered to look at him. He struggled with the cross and fell under its weight. As you look at Jesus, what thought is on your mind? What do their faces look like? What does your face look like? Remember the last time you received a bad mark on a test, even though you tried very hard? When you were disappointed, you may have thought of just giving up. Jesus didn't give up. Even though it hurt when he fell, he got up and went on. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross. Were you there when he fell beneath its weight? Were you there when he fell beneath its weight? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he fell beneath its weight?
The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. As Jesus looked around, he saw and heard people cursing and laughing at him. He also saw his mother Mary, who could not get close enough to speak to him, but he knew she was there, and he was happy she was near to give him strength. How do you think Mary felt? What do you think Jesus and Mary might have said when they met? When is the last time you did something for your mother? Have you ever thought of how much she has done for you? She has always been by your side when you needed her, and you have always been in her heart. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross. Were you there when he saw his mother weep? Were you there when he saw his mother weep? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he saw his mother weep?
The fifth station, Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. As Jesus carried the cross up the hill, the soldiers say that he was very tired and weak. They did not want Jesus to die on the road, so they pulled Simon from the crowd to help. Simon did what was needed. Have you helped anyone lately? When you are playing games and someone falls down, you can help them up. Or perhaps when you go to the store with your mother, you could show your love for her by carrying her packages. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when they called for Simon's help? Were you there when they called for Simon's help? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they called for Simon's help?
The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. All during his life, Jesus showed how he loved other people. He gave them food if they were hungry, sight if they were blind. While he was on his way to be crucified, Veronica imitated his example and came out of the crowd to wipe his face to make him feel better. Making someone feel better is a good deed. A card or a visit to a sick friend is a small but kind act, especially if you took a little trouble to do it. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when Veronica wiped his face? Were you there when Veronica wiped his face? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when Veronica wiped his face?
The seventh station, Jesus falls a second time. Jesus found it very hard to get up after he fell a second time. The crowd pushed and pulled at him to make him get up and keep going. Jesus stood up and began to walk again. What do you think he might have wanted just then? A cold drink of water? Have you ever been the only person to think something was right? Being left alone to fight for your point of view is difficult. Perhaps you were laughed at and made fun of by many people. But like Jesus, you stood up for what was right. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed. Were you there when he fell again in pain? Were you there when he fell again in pain? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he fell again in pain?
The eighth station, Jesus speaks to the woman. The sight of Jesus with his torn clothes and bloody face made the woman and children turn away and cry. Jesus did not want them to feel sorry for him, so he told them to pray for themselves and their children who would have to suffer. Have you ever tried to comfort a sister or brother after you both were hurt or did not get something? Even though you may have been hurt, you tried to make your sister or brother feel better. This is what Jesus did. He was hurt and sad, but he stopped to speak kindly to the woman and children. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross. Were you there when the women mourned for him? Were you there when the women mourned for him? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the women mourned for him?
The ninth station, Jesus falls a third time. As Jesus began to walk up the steep hill, he fell a third time. By this time, Jesus could hardly walk. He probably felt he couldn't go on anymore. Have you ever felt that way? Did you ask God for help? No one is perfect. It is human to make mistakes, but we must learn to get up and do better from our falls. Even Jesus Christ, King of Kings, fell, but he always got up again and went on. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when he fell yet once again? Were you there when he fell yet once again? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he fell yet once again?
The 10th station. Jesus is stripped of his garments. At last, Jesus came to the top of the hill. The soldiers took the cross from him and tore his clothes off his body. He stood nearly naked, ready to die on the cross. Has a crowd of people ever made fun of you? Maybe they did not even know they were hurting you by making you feel bad in front of everybody. This is what happened to Jesus. Yet he did not complain. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when they stripped him of his clothes? Were you there when they stripped him of his clothes? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they stripped him of his clothes?
The 11th station. Jesus is crucified. Jesus was held on the cross with large nails in his hands and feet. The soldiers left him hanging there in the hot sun for 3 hours so that he would die. Jesus prayed to his Father in heaven, "Father, forgive them." Is there someone you should forgive? We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the cross?
The 12th station. Jesus dies on the cross. As he hung on the cross, Jesus forgave the soldiers and prayed for his mother and friends. Jesus told them he did everything God in heaven wanted to do for the world. After 3 hours on the cross, Jesus bowed his head and died. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross.
Were you there when he yielded up his soul? Were you there when he yielded up his soul? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when he yielded up his soul?
The 13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. After Jesus died, his friend, Joseph, took the body from the cross. Joseph was very sad as he wiped away the blood and cleaned the cuts that covered the body of Jesus. He then prepared the body for burial. Mary held Jesus in her arms. She remembered holding Jesus when he was a baby. Tears ran down her cheeks. What did Mary feel? It is a very kind and loving thing to care for someone else. When we care for a friend, it is easy, but we must also learn to give as much care to ones who don't like us. Then we are showing our real love for them. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross.
Were you there when they took his body down? Were you there when they took his body down? Oh, causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they took his body down?
The 14th station. Jesus is laid in the tomb. Joseph took the body of Jesus and laid it in a tomb cut out of a rock. He rolled a large stone in front of the tomb and then sadly went home. Jesus was buried. When is the last time you shared with someone? Sharing what you don't want or sharing unwillingly is not friendly or right. But when you willingly share something important to you, you are rewarded by the good feeling of friendship. Joseph loved Jesus so much, he gave Jesus his own tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
At the foot of the cross, where grace and suffering meet, you have shown me your love through the judgment you received, and you've won my heart. Yes, you've won my heart. Now I can trade these ashes in for beauty, and wear forgiveness like a crown, coming to kiss the feet of mercy. I lay every burden ashes in for beauty, and wear forgiveness like a crown, coming to kiss the feet of mercy. I lay every burden down at the foot of the cross. I trade these ashes in for beauty, still